On a recent episode of this podcast, we reviewed Leinenkugel's Drink Wisconsinably Amber Lager. Nick took the opportunity to make a haphazard joke where he said, "Lager? I hardly know Amber." And again, this ham-fisted attempt at a joke was a play on the "I hardly know her" joke structure. And this is a bit in which the object is to take a common word that ends in the sound and add "I hardly know her" after it for comedic effect. The end result is a sentence that could be perceived as a sexual innuendo, but oftentimes makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Very few words that end in make the sentence plausible, but there are a few notable examples of exceptions. It's frowned upon to use professions or adjectives, such as baker or taller, as they can be considered cheating, and anyone who uses them clearly has no imagination. Words such as toaster or thriller are acceptable, as are names like Lauer. The goal of this joke is to find a word ending with the sound That being said, the word itself doesn't necessarily have to end with the letters ER. Some notable exceptions are creature, or perhaps tire. Today on the show, we're revisiting an amber lager, as we have Fat Tire.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers. I can't reach you.
That was some of your best work yet. Cheers.
Really? Thank you.
So it's like Matt Lauer. I hardly know her. That's the how they're talking about that.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Got a different meaning with the news.
Unfortunately. Or maybe it's our listener. Didn't we have like a Lauer guy who wrote us one time? Shout out to you, whatever your name was.
Yeah, Iowa State.
Yeah, our contingent. The reason it went off without a hitch is we've had weeks now to sit back.
It's been months.
Revitalize and rejuvenate.
3 R's.
I only said 2. What would be the other one? I didn't relax over the last 2 weeks. I don't know if that was possible.
You read the intro.
Either. I guess I did read it. Intro courtesy of Urban Dictionary.
Oh.
What do you think? We've had some time off. We both took a small road trip around the Washington, Oregon. Well, I took a trip around Oregon with my wife, and
there he is.
Together we took a little.
Oh, wrong.
There you go. And together we took a trip around Washington.
Yeah,
it was kind of nice. We had a lot of fun.
It was really
nice.
Beer. It was really nice. We drank some mostly shitty beers. I guess a couple of us picked up some nice 6-packs.
A ton of Busch Lights. Ton of Bud Lights.
Bud Lights, but heavies the last night.
Some Coors Lights and some PBRs.
And a big bag of Freedom that our friend Braden insisted on buying in our group grocery run.
Friend of the show.
Not family of the show. Hopefully never family of the show.
I hope to God.
Hard iced tea, twisted iced tea, big
twisted
bag.
Hard iced tea.
2 liters of twisted iced tea.
It tasted shockingly like iced tea. The big bag of Freedoms, I thought.
You thought? Okay.
I didn't get a ton of alcohol, which is what made it so dangerous and why.
Yeah, but it had that sort of artificial taste to it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like a shitty iced tea.
Yeah,
you're right. We're sitting in a hot tub slapping a bag around.
Yeah.
Passing that. Now, we all got COVID tests. We actually did all get COVID tests before we did this.
Big, and I'm glad we did, of course.
I am too. It took a lot of the, I guess, anxiety or guilt out of doing it. Like we got the COVID test just kind of days before, and then we went on the trip, and that was nice. Stayed at Airbnbs, did a bunch of hikes. I feel good. I feel great. I'm ready to start feeling bad again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Weren't you greeted by that immediately upon return?
Yeah, I was. But I'm trying to stay optimistic for the show, because we have a very special show ahead of us.
We're talking with the owners of Optimism Brewery here in Seattle, Washington. No, that's not true, but we do have a guest on the show today.
Somebody equally as exciting.
Yes.
I would say.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Ooh, who's this?
Yes.
Is this Walter Cronkite?
No, it's Marv Albert.
Oh, yeah, Marv Albert. That's pretty good.
Of course.
I was kind of working on a Jimmy Stewart a while back. I don't know if I can do it.
That's right.
I'm not going to drink. Oh, no, hold on. I'm not going to drink another. It's a little Bill Clinton.
This might have been all the way back in episode
Tire.
28 when we originally did Fat Tire that you were working on that and
my
have
first
not
sips,
improved since.
My first sips of Fat Tire are going down well. Is that Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah. For
Thanks.
people of our age bracket, we can say comfortably that that's Jimmy Stewart.
Okay, that's cool. We could probably move on.
The race car driver?
Oh, hey, I never really even put that together. Wonder if anybody ever did any bits on that. They should have had him doing, It's a Wonderful Life reenactment of some sort, like in a NASCAR preview.
Sure.
That would have been pretty cool.
Sure. It's just like his car that comes back to him at the end of the movie, not the entire town.
Yeah.
Just his car.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We should have sold this instead of saying this on the show. NASCAR, if you hear it, we own intellectual property rights to this joke. Is Jimmy Stewart still driving? Is there a driver called Jimmy Stewart?
Isn't that his name?
I don't think so. Jimmy, there was a Jimmy, but I don't think it's Jimmy Stewart. That would throw a wrench in this whole bit, wouldn't it?
Jimmy
Hendricks. Kyle
What
Hendricks.
is his name?
Kyle Hendricks. Another Kyle about to be on the show.
Yes, there is. Jimmy NASCAR. Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart. There's a Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy. There's a Kyle Hendricks, a Jimi Hendrix, a Tony Stewart.
It is Jimmy Johnson, apparently.
So Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, we mixed together. See, now that's what
they're
they could have done.
They're the couple.
See, we could still sell this as intellectual property.
Yes, stupidity sometimes ends in some great content.
It does. And this is great content.
Yeah,
Our listeners always tell us.
Okay, yeah, so we're going to have Kyle Dufek on the show. Big friend of the show.
Yep.
Fellow Manawinian.
Yep.
Just like us.
Long time, first time for him. He's participated in social media and such throughout the years.
He sounded off.
He sounded off. I'm sure we've read some of his tweets and such on mailbags, but he hasn't been on the show before. Is there a particular reason he's on the Fat Tire episode, or are we going to learn
Great question, Joey. We were talking off show about him getting on the program.
Off cam.
Because he's listened to all of it off cam, off the couch.
In front of the paywall. When you're on cam, you're behind the paywall.
Hey.
Nick is. Nick's a cam boy.
I'm a cam guy. Follow my OnlyFans. It's my only source of income at this point.
I'm a simp for Nick.
Yeah, you are. That's right.
I'm Nick's only
the big
simp.
simp sons.
Yeah, we're the simp sons.
Our trip.
That's
and maybe this
fun.
podcast. That was very fun.
Yeah, it was. I'm not having fun with it anymore. It feels like we kind of milked the simp joke dry.
That's one of my most popular videos.
And it's his nipples. He's not talking. There's no innuendo. Remember we talked about how you could do.
Oh, no.
You could make a living doing a Hugh Grant impersonation.
OnlyFans?
On OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And how much would it take for you to quit what you're doing, quit any ambition, and just do Hugh Grant impersonation sex stuff on OnlyFans? How much? How
many hours per week do I have to do it?
40. You don't have to go over 40, but
Pure
you do
40. Okay.
8 hours a day. You're on cam.
Wow.
Your simps log on, and you're doing Hugh Grant stuff on OnlyFans.
Well, I could live anywhere if I'm doing that, so I could get my cost of living under control. I would do it for $200,000 a year.
$200,000 a year. You'd throw away sort of your soul, your
everything
reputation.
else. Yeah.
Anything that
the love of my family.
Right. Most of your friends. It's just you and the simps.
Yep. The simps. But hey, I got cold hard cash, and I'm living in a cabin in Idaho, just pulling in mad dough. And then I have to do it for 5 years, and then I can retire or something?
You better not be spending much.
No, I'm not spending much. I get one HD camera and an internet.
Right. And an internet. And then so for 5 years, you're going to make $1 million over those 5 years. Some of it will go into expenses.
Depends what I want to do in retirement.
If you're out in a cabin in the middle of Idaho, you could just be doing Hugh Grant
if I'm going to live there
videos.
forever, right?
Yeah, for your Sims.
Let's call Kyle.
All right.
The reason he's on this episode, he picked this beer. I asked him to be on the program, and he told him to pick a beer. He picked this one. I think he likes it. I think there's also a connection because he and I toured the brewery of New Belgium who makes this beer. So we're going to call him on. This is a new opportunity, I suppose.
Yes, we have
our Fat Tire.
We should give a little bit of perspective on that.
Please.
We have done this episode before. This is our current number 28 in the rankings. And when we did this episode, this was January.
Is that Zen 10 or what is 28?
Who could say? Let me look quick. Hold on. I'm on coldcanspodcast.com/rankings. It's the Zen 10. You're spot on.
Wow.
Absolutely pissed on. We did our first episode January 26th of 2018.
Wow.
And we said the boys are riding a tandem bicycle down the street called Quality Beer Street, and Phil Woodman and his son made their debut. So a lot of son stuff we've done over the years.
I think there's nothing funnier than the phrase adult son.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's fun.
And Brian never got a chance to become one.
Who?
Yeah, you're right. Let's call Kyle.
Here's Kyle.
An intro. Excellent intro. Here's Kyle.
We're getting him on the blower. Let's see.
This is good.
It's a good beer.
It's good beer.
Hello?
Kyle, Dufek.
Hello.
This is the Cold Cans podcast. How are you?
Doing well. First time listener, long time caller.
Oh, no way. We've never picked up.
That's a shame. How long have you had that one loaded in the chamber?
I've had that all day. 24 hours about.
Yeah. Good job.
That was good. I liked that. So we're recording this on a Friday, traditionally the day Cold Cans podcast is released. How's your Friday been, Kyle?
My Friday's been really good. Just got back from work and just been chilling, I guess. Yeah.
Staring at
the day. How are you guys doing today?
Another day.
I'm fine. I was going to ask, was the extent of your day, you came back from work, you came home, and between then and now, you've been staring at that Post-it note where you were saying first time listener, long time caller?
Yeah. I put a reminder on my calendar.
Nice.
I had a post. No, I did not do these things. But yeah, I definitely was thinking about that one on the drive home. I think that's where I came up with that.
You nailed it.
You did.
You nailed it.
You did.
It's right off the bat.
And we should apologize off the bat as well. We're 47 minutes late to calling Kyle. We told him we call him at 5 after we moved around.
5 our time, 7 his time.
Yep,
Time's weird like that.
It's not. It's just time zones. But apologies, Kyle. I'll put my hand up on that.
That's on behalf of Joey Glock LLC, not on behalf of Cold Cans LLC or Nick Patry LLC. This is Joey's fault.
I hope you accept my apology while you drink your cold fat tire. I hope it's cold too.
Yeah, have you cracked that boy yet?
Yeah, I just cracked it about like 10 minutes ago and just sipping on it. It's good. It's good going down. I haven't had fat tire in a hot minute, but yeah, I forget how like crisp and smooth it is.
It is smooth.
It's almost like it's almost sweet. I think a lot of ambers are kind of almost
right,
sweet, but
that's I think resident expert Zach Jabal gave us shit about not knowing that on the Drink Wisconsinably episode that amber like refers to the caramelization process of something that sweetens it. Who could say?
Who could say? The flavor profile on newbelgium.com says toasty malt, gentle sweetness, flash of fresh hop bitterness. The malt and hops are perfectly balanced.
Wow.
I would agree with that assessment, honestly.
This is a well-balanced beer.
Very good.
Now, Kyle, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was just thinking this is 2 amber ales in a row, too, on the show, on the Cold Can podcast, right?
That's true.
Unprecedented.
You're gonna love when you hear the intro that Joey did for this. We talk all about amber. What is it? Lager. I hardly amber. Don't say it like that. It's funny.
Can we come up with is this Amber month? Ambertober, November.
Well,
November. If it were November
or autumn.
That's good.
Autumn, because the other episode was in August, right?
Yeah. Look, Kyle liked November, and
well, this isn't even going to come out in November.
Well, I know it's going to come out today, I think. But we could, what we could do? We could change the dates. No one will ever know.
There's
no one listening to this show, so it would be fine.
So this beer, you and I toured the New Belgium Brewery. Like, what is that now? 6 years ago?
Yeah, it does feel like a long time ago. I guess at the same time it feels like not that long ago. But yeah that was a really good experience going over to Fort Collins. And yeah, I feel like every time I have a New Belgium beer, specifically Fat Tire is probably the most go-to New Belgium beer. I reminisce on that experience and going to the New Belgium Brewery tour with you. And learning. I think the biggest, I remember one of the takeaways was drinking out of a can is far superior, like 70% superior, or whatever the percentage that they said.
Yeah.
In terms of the how it tastes. And so that's something I always remember. But obviously, the information is not too remembered.
That's rock solid.
The percentage doesn't matter.
Yeah, was it because it can keep beer fresher longer? Is that the
light pollution?
Right.
Was it that, or was it like the smell? Because smell is so much of your taste, and aluminum has less to do with that than glass. I don't know. I feel like it would have more of the opposite, but
right.
We have high standards of facts and knowledge and truth checking on this show. So
our tastes are so dialed in that we can really determine the difference. By the way, are you drinking this out of a can or a bottle?
Yeah, a bottle. I mean, I don't know where they would sell like cans even.
Maybe
maybe
in Fort Collins, I guess, but
30-pack of Fat Tire cans.
30 rack, yeah.
What was the context for your guys' trip? Why were you there?
Boys only weekend.
Right.
What's up? That's it? That's the only light you're going to shed on the subject?
No. What?
Yeah, no.
We were both living in... We were both still living in Madison, I think. Because this would have been...
I think
we were both gone?
I don't know. I feel like you hit me up and you're like, hey, I'm just like thinking about traveling.
Oh, that's right.
To somewhere. And I was like, hey, dude, like I'll come with you. And then we booked the tickets like within, I want to say it was within like 48 hours of like discussing this trip.
Yeah.
It was within a week or something like that. And then I think like 2 weeks later, we went to Denver, Colorado, just because the flights were so cheap.
Right.
And then just
Frontier Airlines, baby.
Right. Yeah. We just kind of went with it as, it was a really good time for Collins. And then we went to Boulder and Denver. Yeah. But it was just very spontaneous. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a great trip. And there are a lot of funny memories from that. Like do you remember when we first flew in and then we got our rental car and we had the Airbnb booked, but we didn't, we flew in at like midnight. Got the rental car, and our Airbnb actually didn't start until the following night. But technically, it was the day of our rental. And so we were going to sleep in the car, and we just parked on some side street in Denver, and we're going to try to sleep. And then I could not sleep at all. So I was like, all right, we're going to drive to this Airbnb. They gave us the access code. We're going to see if it works. It did work. We get in there at like 3 o'clock in the morning and then sleep. And
there's a family of 4 in there checking out.
No, thankfully, it was unoccupied.
Yeah. That's a good life hack right there.
Life hack, baby. Just go break into your Airbnb a day early.
Right. You only have to pay for 2 nights rather than 3 nights. So
And then we went to a Young the Giant concert. That was fun.
Yeah. What else did we do?
Went to the original Chipotle. We broke into the Chipotle offices because you were gonna work in their corporate office.
Yeah, that was when I was still working at Chipotle as like a manager over there, and I was like seriously considering trying to work for a corporate. And obviously, my career path has changed pretty drastically since then. But yeah, I remember going. We went to this random like huge building, and it was not what we were expecting at all. It was just a corporate office. They had like a floor
very strange.
of this like 15-store building. Yeah.
What did you think? Did you think there was going to be like restaurants and like
there's going to be an all-you-can-eat buffet? We thought it was. No, they were actually very kind. I remember though they like actually entertained the concept of being like, hey, we just came by to see what this place looked like. They're like, yeah, come, you can come look in this area, and then you should leave. That's
because you're the only 2 that have ever done that.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, we were young, dumb kids. Now we're very, very smart, advanced people. Speaking of...
I have a Chipotle question
Chipotle.
Before we move on to
right.
I have
Kyle,
a couple of
you're
questions.
You're going to love this, Kyle. This is going to be rich coming from Joey Glock.
Hot take.
All right, let's hear
it. I don't really like Chipotle. And the reason is not because...
Nope.
Yeah, I knew you weren't going to remember the colors. I said it before the show. I was like, you're not going to remember which of these bumpers is which. Get it off. All right, here's my take. I think the ingredients are fine. I just think every Chipotle burrito I've ever had was prepared by somebody that's a little too overeager. It's like when I prepare something at a buffet, where I just overload the thing and then I can't handle it and it kind of tastes like shit because there's way too much stuff on it. Every Chipotle burrito is like that. And
does it taste like shit, or it's just a lot to handle?
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't taste like shit, but the structural integrity is just absolute garbage. And when I complain about this, not to people, my hats are off to the
go
fine
down
workers at Chipotle.
Corporate headquarters.
Busted the door. No, but what I've complained about to like you, Nick, and to Devin and stuff, everybody tells me like you got to get a bowl, you fucking idiot.
Right.
But I thought the burrito is like the
tortillas
flagship.
On the side.
I thought the burrito is the flagship. I thought it's the fat tire of New Belgium to Chipotle's is their burrito. But it's unwieldy. It falls apart. It busts at the seams. The little kind of tortilla sack busts open. And I can't handle it and I can't eat it. And the ingredients, I eat one bite and it's sour cream. I eat the next bite and it's just white rice. And the next bite's just beans. So I always have a structural integrity problem. Kyle, am I off base? Am I an idiot? What am I?
Yeah. I guess, well, yes, you're an idiot to validate that thought.
Fair.
Yeah, I agree. It can be a little bit much. I know you can like ask the person at the end to mix up your burrito if you want, if you are worried about it being layered with the different ingredients. If you had worked there for several years, what you do is you get a bowl and then you get a tortilla on the side and then you roll your own burrito and then you got a bowl, like a mini bowl for later.
See, I like that. Fajita style almost. I like that. See, I don't
Joey hates it when there's a little inside knowledge that's pulled over.
I do.
He hates it.
I'm not the chef. I'm the guest. I shouldn't be expected to know things. That's why I don't like anything, Chipotle included. I don't like anything that's build your own. I don't like build your own pizza. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what you're doing. You're the expert. The folks at Chipotle are always great. Just do it for me. I don't want to have to know that I get a bowl and then I get tortillas on the side and then I prepare it. It's just a problem.
Subway did that to our country. You can have it your way.
We don't know. If we have it, we don't know what to do. We're like we elected Donald Trump as president. I mean, we have no clue what's we don't know what's good for us. So we need the government to step in. I'm a democratic socialist and Chipotle's bad.
Have it your way is Burger King, by the way.
Oh yeah. I could have called Jed on that. I'm sure you'll edit that piece out.
Getting back to travel, that's when Kyle and I originally had this beer. That's probably the first time I had Fat Tire, I suppose.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, speaking of travel, Kyle, you and I took a rather monumental trip, or I came along on the trip that you and your lovely fiance planned out. Last, I guess almost a year ago at this point, we went to Vietnam and did some traveling, did some drinking, did some eating, went to every Chipotle in Vietnam. But no, we wanted to talk about what we drank there from a local imbibing perspective. Do you remember anything especially good or especially bad alcoholic-wise that we drank in Vietnam?
Yeah, I guess the go-to beer that there is usually the Tiger beer, which is their standard like light beer, like a Bud Light here.
Yeah.
And I do like Tiger, and they drink a lot of Heineken there as well. The interesting thing about drinking beer in Vietnam, what I remember the first time I went there.
I just remembered too. Hannah's your wife now, not your fiance.
Yeah. She's no longer.
God,
at that time. Yeah.
My life.
No, at the time.
At the time. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So
Please continue. Sorry.
Yeah, drinking beer there. I remember the first time I was there. You would just put like a large ice cube that's like the size of I don't know, like a baseball in a glass, and then you pour the beer over that, and that's just like how you drink beer there, is on ice. So go ahead.
I was saying, it seems like instead of like America's appetite for just drinking light beer, they create their own light beer by putting an ice cube in, let that water down over the course of the few minutes you're drinking it. I like that.
Yeah. It was a little bit shocking or surprising at first, but I think the thing there is it's just so damn hot. So it's like 100 degrees, and I don't know what the humidity is like, but it's got to be like 90 percentile or humidity. So I think it's just to keep it cold. I think that's the main purpose, not even to dilute it.
Right, because it's already pretty light, like from the beginning.
Sure.
And then
no, it's a light beer.
Serve it over ice.
Yeah. And then I remember we went to there was like a brewery or like a craft beer place that was across the street from the Airbnb that we're staying at.
Mm-hmm.
And their beer was it was shit. It was not good. Beer. I don't know if you
what was
remember.
it? Winking Seal or something like that. It was called.
Yeah.
Just remembered that. Yeah. Because their coasters were like a seal's face and one of the eyes is closed. That's what I can picture right now.
So it's a penis?
Seal. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's got the mouth and everything. But yeah, the beers weren't great.
Okay.
But there's a little like craft beer community, I would say, at least in Ho Chi Minh City where we were. Maybe throughout Vietnam, I don't really know. But there were a few breweries for sure. Yeah, I think the craft beer scene is still just like growing there. I think the main thing was just drinking like a Tiger, a Heineken of some sort. That's what Hannah's like family predominantly drinks. And is the Heineken. I've noticed, and you can drink that at they just have like one or two usually, but it's good. I don't know. I wish I could buy. I think I would buy like Tiger beer a little bit more often. I've seen that here sometimes. I do like that beer. Yeah, Tiger beer. Some Tiger? Yeah. I do. Yeah, it's like a silver can and like orange Tiger with some like blue accents.
You can find that. Right. You can find that in like a Vietnamese restaurant here. I think I've had it. Yeah. I've only ever been to Thailand, and the equivalent is like Singha or Chang beer. But I don't think they can brew beer in Thailand. So I remember cruising around there, and every like craft beer place, every Winking Seal that I went to, was pretty much all the beers were either imported from Vietnam or Cambodia. It was mostly Vietnam, I think. And so they said like, we can't grow a beer scene, but Vietnam has a good one.
That's a religious thing, or why can't they brew?
I have some legal thing. I have no clue, but it was it was all imported from Vietnam, and they were like, it's great over there. You got to go over there. And everything I've ever heard is it's lovely a lovely place to visit. So I got to get over there. Got to get back when we can fucking travel again.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Kyle, you got some fun life stuff happening right now, even if travel's not on the table, but you got some fun stuff going on.
Life has been 2020, although it's been chaotic for most. 2020's definitely been like one of my best years, probably ever. Just because I graduated from my grad program this year, found a job right away.
Hell yeah!
Got married. All the good news, we are moving into our house, our first home ever.
You bet!
Hell yeah!
Next week Friday. So just a lot of things that are on the horizon, and it's just a lot of good things happening. So, and I got a tattoo, my first tattoo ever.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that one. What'd you get?
I got something super simple. It's just 1P, which stands for like first player. My siblings are getting the other players. So very, I guess, nerdy, if you will.
Oh, wow.
It's like in the, like, what's that? Digital or, font. So it's very simple.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like an alarm clock, maybe. I thought you were going to say you got it of a Winking Seal.
On his Winking Seal? Is that what you wanted to say, Joey?
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
That is cool. I also, in 2020, I got my first tattoo, I believe.
That was in
Oh, really?
This calendar year?
It was 2019.
Okay.
But I also, very similar, simple one. It's kind of liberating. It's like
simple one.
Yeah, I'm a simp for it. It was a little liberating. I don't know, Kyle, if you feel the same way, but like we both grew up in the same small town. All three of us grew up in the same small town. And it was just like, at least for me, going through high school and stuff, that was never anything I was ever going to do, is get a fucking tattoo. That's insane. And then it kind of go live life. And I was like, no, this isn't insane. It's insane to close doors like I used to in that small town. So it felt good. You feel similar, Kyle?
Yeah, it was. I would agree. It's a little bit liberating in the sense of now it's like I guess I just had to convince myself. Like when I got the tattoo, I think I audibly said out loud, or just like out loud, I was like, "Oh, this shit's on me forever." But then there was something like a little bit freeing about that too. It's like it's my choice. Like I made this decision, and it has some sort of, I guess, like deeper meaning, or just something that's kind of like you can look at, and it was like, oh yeah, this is important. Like family is important to me, so it just kind of maybe allows you to remember your values, I guess. Depending on, I guess, what type of tattoo you get, so, and what it means to you.
Hell yeah. Love
or
it.
even if it's dumb, like that, maybe your values are like just being dumb or being silly or whatever.
Or just a time and a place.
Good.
Yeah, it was the time in your life where you were open to something like that. That feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
I think if I finish this second fat tire, I might get a little bicycle tattoo.
Ooh.
That's how much I'm liking the fat tire. It's so good. It's just extremely balanced, as everything said. How are they going down for you guys?
It's delicious. Yeah, Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah. I agree. It's delicious. I'm about to crack open my second one here, and I think I'll continue drinking after this episode too with these fat tires. So
you bet.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. How was? I guess I should bring in. Nick, did you talk to Marlene down at your local Safeway?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Kyle did a little investigative journalism for this episode, more than has ever been done in Cold Cans history. Unfortunately, I did buy these from the local QFC rather than the Safeway. So Marlene got the shaft on this one. But it just so happened that there's a QFC closer to the studio, and I had my hands full on my way down to come up here. So I couldn't get it at Safeway, but I will. I'll keep my eyes peeled for Marlene. I go into that grocery store literally every day.
Good,
so you called her, right?
Yeah, we can give some context to this story. Yeah, because I know you have that Safeway that's like right below you. So I called, and I was trying to make fun and Venmo you the exact dollar and penny amount. And so I called your Safeway, and I get on the phone with a woman named Marlene. And so I have her go and tell me how much Fat Tire is, and then actually scan it for me too, and so I could get the dollar and penny amount. So it's $9.99, and then and it scans at $11 on the dot. Wow. Even apparently it works like that.
10% tax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And so she told me to Venmo you $11.01 because I gave her a little bit of the story. Just so it was to the penny, or to like the penny or something like that. So it's a little bit fun. So that's why you received $11.01. And then Marlene also told me for you to talk with her at some point and just say hi.
Oh.
So you two are best friends. I gave you a connection over there in Seattle.
Okay. It's possible I've known Marlene before, and I just might not have known her name.
Oh.
Nick's going to give her a card with a QR code for his OnlyFans account.
Thank you for doing that, Kyle. I forgot that you had done that. Highly unorthodox. We typically pay for the beer that the guest is going to drink, so you might just have a Venmo coming back your way.
I was going to say, why did I pay for this beer then when we went through the grocery store? No, Nick paid for it. He's a good man. Thank you, Kyle. That was
very nice of you. But we will Venmo, so we owe you nothing.
No, you do not owe me anything. You're good. Yeah, this is my gift to you guys.
Well, thank you. And thanks for being on. I appreciate you checking out past episodes through thick and thin of the Cold Cans trajectory. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I've been a long time listener. I think I got into you guys like a little bit later than I'd like to admit, since you guys are good friends. But I'm all caught up. I don't know. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah, it's got to be single digits people who have heard every single episode.
I'd hope so. I'd sincerely hope so.
No, we appreciate it, though. That's cool.
Very cool. So then, as you know, if you're all caught up, you have absolutely no say in these rankings. However,
right.
should you have a say, if you were to, and you will not influence us, although if you Venmo me, you could influence me on the rankings.
Hey.
This is a new Hopportunity that we're embarking on right now. We said before we called you, we did this episode in 2018. We did a Fat Tire, and it is currently our number 20. I want to get this right. 28 in our Zen 10. This is right behind Santo from Texas and right above Session, which was once our number 1. So this is a 28th ranked beer, and a new Hopportunity means, do we leave it right where it is? Mm-hmm. Or does it belong up or down a different tier within the same tier? Do you have any thoughts on that, Kyle?
Yeah, so I did look at the ranking like just prior to this, and I mean, I know my opinion does not matter. I have no say in this ranking. I do believe it's. At first, when I saw it was at 28, that felt right to me. Mm-hmm. However, now that I'm looking at the rankings, I think I could go a little bit higher. And now that I'm having it again, it's been a little bit since I've had it, and it's going down really smoothly. And looking at the beers that you have, can I put it to a number, and then
don't
you guys
you
make your
dare?
Own decision? Don't. Okay. Right.
No, you can put it to a number.
I think it's a little bit higher. I don't know how much higher, but I had like the longboard lager before. Also,
I think are you looking at the rankings on your phone? Because when you take your voice away, we can't hear you as well.
But I heard longboard.
Yes.
I heard longboard lager.
Yes, I will. Yeah, okay, I'll be cognizant of that. But yes, the longboard lager. I've had that before, and a little bit similar of an experience from, I think, listening to a podcast before, where I remember me and my buddy were like on a beach and just like drinking those and just like chilling. It was just us two at the end of the night. But and just talking about life as you do with beer. But anyways, I
just
feel like
hang
it
in
can
10.
go up. Right. But I believe it can go somewhere in that area, which is about 6 spots up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys are feeling right now. How are you guys enjoying it? I know you guys are enjoying the beer, but where are you thinking in terms of the ranking right now?
Joe?
I was very surprised when we opened this and we started drinking it.
Wow.
At that sweetness. I expected a little more bitterness, but Jabal threw that egg on our face, and I should have expected caramelization and some sweetness. And it's so I like where you're at there at 22. I actually was looking at longboard lager as a good comp myself, to be honest.
Wow.
However, I would, if anything, I would put it higher than that, and that would be like my floor. That would be the if you're a fantasy football nut, you'd have a floor and a ceiling on every player, and to me, longboard lager is the floor.
Wow.
Huh? What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was starting to vault it into the cream territory.
Me too.
My eyes were getting crossed thinking of all the good things about this beer. That sweetness, I think, has got my pancreas working overtime, and I wasn't seeing straight.
That's something else. You need to go to the hospital.
It's just tough because the rankings are so messed up. There's so many beers that this should be above, but it's
come on,
It's below Foster's. I saw that, and that's a shame.
That's right.
Unconscionable.
Foster's.
Look,
my God.
we know we have to redo Foster's at some point. We're waiting to get we have some Aussies that are coming on the show.
I do have a comp of the Red Hook ESB, which I think is a similar, like, you could drink that on most occasions, which I think is also true of Fat Tire. It's obviously a little bit different, more of the bitter style. But that's our number 19 beer. So I was kind of in that territory. That's not quite in cream of the crop.
Wow. Nick sometimes becomes a shock jock. FM radio.
Wow.
And the bumpers, that's what enables it for you. You become a different person.
What turns it on in me. Yeah.
Whoa! All right.
What bumpers should I have on my OnlyFans account? What do you think?
There's only 2 little bumpers that matter to me on your OnlyFans account. It's your little keister, your little butt cheeks.
Those aren't little bumpers, my friend.
Hey.
Let Kyle get a word in
sorry,
with
Kyle.
your fucking bumpers.
Final thoughts.
Okay, final thoughts. Well, it sounds like we're a bunch of sweet boys. We like the sweetness of this beer. I'm glad that you guys are ranking it. It sounds like higher than what I thought. But also, I do believe it should be higher. I just thought maybe I was influencing it too much. I guess thinking about sessionability too, maybe that can come into play because I do. Although this is kind of like a craft beer, although I guess it's probably not. But at the same time, I think I can drink like 4. I could drink a 6-pack and be good for the night. So I think it having like a craft beer vibe and being able to throw back a few. I don't think many beers on your list are able to do that.
I agree.
What your guys' thoughts are?
No, I agree. I could drive down 6 of these, no problem. I would feel pretty full, but I'd have to pace it out. But I absolutely would reach for another one and another one, and another one. I wouldn't. Some of these beers that are higher than that, like especially if you're looking at Jubile Ale Winter Ale or Old Rasputin Russian Imperial Stout, you kind of can have one and you're just toast. And I think Kyle did influence our rankings a little bit. I know ZP has steam coming out of his ears right now. It's bright red.
Yeah, he's going to have to buy new headphones. He's waterlogged his headphones. The steam.
But it's true. This is nice. And then hearing about your lovely trip to Fort Collins.
I was going to say, not just a direct influence from this episode, but the influence of that trip, hanging out with buds, drinking some brews. That was a fun trip, and we'll always make this like a memorable beer in my mind.
Should we 3, 2, 1 it?
I was going to read a BA score.
Oh, shit.
I almost forgot.
The BA score, the goddamn... You're a simp for the BA score. You love Beer Advocate.
The BA boys. Okay, so this beer, 5.2% ABV. This classifies it as a red ale American amber. It has an 82 for good.
Wow. So when we reviewed it last time, it had a 3. Oh, nope, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It had a 3.6 out of 5 or good, which would translate it to 72. 82 would be 4.1 out of 5. That's a little bit of math that my mind is able to comprehend. Oh, come on.
Are we looking at the 4th grade Math Olympics champion from Manoa Elementary School?
If we were, you'd be looking at me, and then you'd be looking at the 3rd grade Math Olympics champion.
Or were we in middle school?
Yeah,
or
we
was
would
it?
have been.
Okay, so you were the 8th?
Probably would have been like 7th or 8th grade, and you would have been 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah.
You two are youngins. You're a year younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my 30s.
Little young boys.
You're still young boys in your 20s. Nubile, virile men in your 20s. Let's 3, 2, 1 it, Nick.
Let me get.
Hold on. Did we get
here.
a final from Kyle? He did say. You said 22. Is it above or below Longboard Lager, Kyle?
Well. Now that I heard your guys' thoughts, number 2. It definitely number 2 is.
Wow. Number 2. All right. So Kyle has it just below Deschutes and just above Delirium Tremens. All right, Nick. Let's 3, 2, 1 it.
Let's do it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 16. Okay, we're close.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
16 and 18. So you have it just below Bat Squatch, just above Rataburger, and I have it still in the cream. I want to make that designation, but I have it just below Optimism Breweries Before the Dawn and just above
What about
Jubilee
this?
Winter Ale.
Better brand of beer makes a Rataburger better. What about that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Fun.
So this would be a collab between
Culver's and...
Don't give yourself that bumper.
Culver's and Rataburger.
So Culver's decides to start selling alcohol, which would kill
my God.
tens of thousands of people. and they serve Rataburger.
But the profits, Joey, the profits.
Culver's just a hotbed for COVID right now. People, stay out of Culver's, please. For the love of God. Please, Culver's, I plead to you, don't start serving Rataburger.
I didn't mean to derail that much. You had it at 18. Now, that's right on the border, Zen 10 and cream. Where do you have it?
I made that extremely clear.
Now,
I said above and in cream. How about we...
I was just repeating for both the listeners and myself who are not listening to you.
And that's true. Well, how about we split the difference? You good with that? Or we put it at 17 then, so just below Rataburger and above Optimism Breweries. But nonetheless, a substantial bounce between tiers in 11.
A big hop, if you will.
Wow. Now that deserves the bumper.
Thanks, Joe.
That's wonderful.
Okay, yeah, 17. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
17.
Kyle,
this has been wonderful.
thank you for dealing with our lateness and taking the time to come on the show and put up with our bullshit.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this time, and I look forward to listening to some future episodes. And good days or good nights, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very kind.
Good nights to you as well, sirs.
Good nights to you, Kyle.
This is a lot of fun. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think Fat Tire's right where it belongs. It's just ahead of Optimism, just behind Radaburger. It's a good spot.
Radaburger? I Radley Bergmer.
No.
Radaburger?
No, just end it.
Radaburger? I hardly know her.
That was the layup you could have taken the whole time.
Radaburger? I hardly amber.
That'll be good. We could cut music on
Radaburger?
that. Oh no!
I Butterburger.